Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's the boy, Your Journey, bringing you guys another story time. You know what's going on. Now, this story starts off in like middle school. I don't know how you guys' school is, but like my school in middle school, we had this thing called the lock in. So, what the lock in was basically every boy and every girl on separate days had the chance to go to the school and spend the night. They could bring whatever they want, like TVs, games, basically whatever they had in their house, they could basically bring to the school. So people would bring like TVs, they would bring sleeping bags to sleep in, food. They had like hoverboards, and me and my homeboys decided to go to it. So every really they didn't do it within high school, but in middle school it was really where the good times were. So we all decided to go, me and my homeboys, and I think it started at like 6 o'clock. After I don't think we were in school at the time, but we might have been. It might have been on the weekend. I think Saturday, but it started at like 6 o'clock. You come in, you bring your field trip permission slip or whatever. You had your parents sign and say yes, my child can stay the whole night there or whatever. And you had to be within like the school, inside the school. Like you really wouldn't be able to leave like sometimes, but most of the time they had like a security guard, so like you couldn't sneak people in or whatever. So a lot of people brought like TVs. They used to set up their TVs in the cafeteria and all that. So me and my homeboys, it started at like the downstairs area, say like the gym, the locker rooms and all that. We went upstairs to the gym, and the gym was just, it had a big Promethean where you could watch movies, and the concession stand was open, and everybody was like setting up their sleeping bags and everything, putting their stuff where they know where it is, trying to hurry up and grab all the chargers so they can charge their phone. And it was really fun. So basically, this story is about how there's this kid that had this hoverboard. I'm not gonna say his name because he know who he is, and people that go to my school know who he is. So I'm not gonna even say that. But this kid had this hoverboard, and basically, me and my friend decided to. Well, really, my friend decided to snatch the money he was making and just take it for the night and spend however we wanted to. So I got into the gym, and there was this kid who had this hoverboard. You know, hoverboards were new back then, so everybody wanted to ride it. Everyone wanted to see if they could ride it. So this kid was saying, "Hey, if you give me like $5, I'll let you ride it for like 5 minutes, and if you give me $10, I'll let you ride it for 10 minutes, and so on and so forth." So he was making some real money off that because everybody wanted to do it. People would be paying him like a couple dollars just to ride it for 1 to 3 minutes or whatever. So he was really making money off of it, and I seen that. So I seen that. I go into the gym. You can watch movies. There's the concession stand open. They had pizza and all that. So I had some money. My parents gave me like $20, $35 to get some food or whatever. Do whatever I want. So I got me a couple snacks. Like I think I got me some Takis, a Sprite, and something else. And went to the cafeteria because that's where I knew I was gonna sleep for the night. So I walk into the cafeteria, and these niggas really had like put chairs and tables on top of each other to make like a fortress. And they had like, I swear to God, 70-inch TV that they brought with a PlayStation, hella games, hella controllers. It was literally, it was a whole gaming setup in the cafeteria. Then they had, oh, I'm tripping. The cafeteria had the Promethean board where you can watch movies and shit. In the gym, people were just like talking, watching their friends play basketball and whatever, throwing shit around and doing all types of shit. Then we had a small gym where they were doing the same shit. In the cafeteria is where they had the big Promethean where you could watch movies and lay back and chill, and the lights were off. So I go in, me and my homeboy, I put my shit down, I find the charger for it real quick, put my phone on the charger. Well, I didn't put my phone on the charger, but I put my charger in the port and put all my shit around it so people know like this is where my shit is. And then I start walking around. So First I go back to the gym, start playing a little bit of basketball. Me and my friends were doing 3-on-3s and 4s-on-4s and all that. And as I'm playing basketball, I see that kid still making money off of it. It's like I'm like 3 hours in, and this kid is still making money off this hoverboard, riding it around and shit. So I'm like, I mean, I didn't have a hoverboard, but I've rode one before. But he had like a futuristic hoverboard type shit. I'm talking like, it wasn't like a, like, I don't know, Lamborghini type hoverboard, but it had like it was bigger. It was an extra large one with the Bluetooth speaker on it and all that. It light up, it changed colors and all that. So I'm like, you can play music and shit while you riding it. That shit dope. I'm gonna try and ride it. So I wasn't trying to pay no $5 to $10 to ride that bitch for 10 minutes, bro. Like, that's just really a waste of money. What if I wanted some food or something? And I only had a limited amount of money. So I was like, hey man, let me ride it for a few dollars. And he was like, all right, how much? Let me get like $5. I'll let you ride it for 5 minutes. And I was like, bro, I ain't even trying to ride it that long. I'll give you $1 to ride it for a minute, bro. And he was like, I was letting people do that, man, but I'm not really making no money off of it no more. So shit. He was like, I already made a lot of money off of it. I'm only doing 5 minutes and 10 minutes because I'm trying to. Too many people been using it and people been falling off of it and shit like that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fall off it, bro. So I kind of really talked him down to like $3 for 3 minutes. I was like, okay. So I was riding that bitch. I got on it. I already knew how to ride a hoverboard. So, and he didn't really care where you went because if you ran off with that shit, he knew who you were. Everybody knew everybody in the school. So I was riding it around. I went to the concession stand. I think I bought me another drink or some food or some shit. And then my homeboy Josiah, I'm gonna say his name because I don't give a fuck. My homeboy Josiah was he was shit that alarm. My homeboy Josiah was like, oh shit, you riding that hoe? He's like, let me ride on it. I was like, nah, nigga, I only got 3 minutes on this shit. I gotta go get this shit back. He was like, nah, bro, let me ride it, bro. I was like, all right. So I let him ride it for like 2 seconds type shit. He got on it. He was like fucking falling over and shit, and I was like, nah, get off. And I got back on that bitch and started riding around again because I didn't want that shit to break. I'm not paying for that shit. So I ride back to the cafeteria and make sure everything's straight with my shit. Put my food in my sleeping bag, and then I actually did put my phone on a charger this time because I was on it. So I go back. I give him back his hoverboard, right? And then he goes. If people know that watch it from my school, he was leaving the gym and he like went to like we're basically where you leave the gym and start going to the classrooms, those double doors. So he was back there and his duffel bag was back there or whatever, and he put his hoverboard there to charge. So I was like, okay, that's where he be having his shit at, right? I'm not really thinking it at the time. I'm just like, oh, so that's where he's charging it. Nigga, you better not let nobody steal that shit. But, because if you're not around it, somebody can snatch that bitch and just leave, to be honest. But I don't know what he was thinking. So, me and my homeboy Josiah, he had found me at the time because I was walking from the cafeteria. And I told him, I was like, yeah, if you trying to ride that bitch or you got some money, Kevon back there right now, you can see if he trying to let you ride it, but he charging it right now. He was like, okay, bet. So I think he went back there, seen that nigga, tried to ride it, and I guess it was dead. And he came back to me, he was like, that bitch dead or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. So me and him go back into the cafeteria, and I'm like, shit, I'm finna go see if I can play some games or whatever. So we go back into the cafeteria. I go over. I think they were playing like UFC or Madden or some shit. So I sit there, but there's hella people there, and there's hella people waiting in line. So I'm like, man, I ain't even trying to do that shit. So as we're just sitting there, my homeboy Josiah is like, hey, so and so be making money off that shit. And I was like, yeah, nigga, I know. I paid him to fucking ride the bitch. What the fuck you mean? And he was like, yeah, I just seen him put the rest of his money in his duffel bag. And I was like, oh, for real? And he was like, yeah, bro, you trying to go snatch that shit? And I was like, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, if he not around, then he won't know who took the money. But like, if that nigga come out or whatever, we gonna have to fight, and I'm really not trying to get kicked out this shit. So I think I think he randomly talked me into it, talking about, all right, I'll do it. You could be lookout. So if he do find us or whatever, I'll fight him type shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So we walk over there. I didn't see the nigga. So boom, I'm sitting there at the door gym. I'm sitting at the double doors right there, watching the gym and watching the hallway we walk down. So I don't see the nigga. So Josiah's going in that nigga duffel bag, get the money, put it in his pocket, and we dip off. So there's this funny ass part, man. So basically, we dip off with the money. I go back into the cafeteria. He goes back into the cafeteria. He halves that shit with me, and we go our separate ways real quick. So I go our separate ways. I go in the back. So there's the Promethean, and then there's the back where the Promethean was in the cafeteria, and the back of it is like the wrestling mats and like a stage type shit. I don't know why, but they had like a stage. And there was people back there, and I swear to fucking God, they were literally watching. Can I get banned for saying this? I don't know. They were watching Machine, like POR. I'm not gonna finish it, but like they were watching that shit in the back, and the nigga that was selling the hoverboard rides was the main person on. Like he had his phone and having everybody watch it, and there was like 15 niggas in the back of the auditorium, in the back of the cafeteria stage, just watching machine porn, nigga. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say? Like, nigga, if you know what I'm talking about, that's what they were watching. There was about 15 niggas, bro. So I'm like, what the fuck is these niggas watching? And I'm talking about, I have friends and all types of shit just sitting there laughing at the shit. Like, I don't think they were watching it to, like, you know, but they were just watching that shit laughing. And I'm just like, how is that fucking funny? Like, what the fuck? But whatever. So I guess I seen that nigga then, and the nigga that was selling the rides, he was the main person on his phone showing the niggas. So I'm like, oh, so that nigga, that's where he was, right? So then I guess he went and did something. I went about my ways. I guess I went back and did something. I really don't remember. I was kind of just walking around trying to find shit to do because I didn't bring my game or nothing. Like I wasn't even thinking that to bring my whole fucking TV and game. So I think shit, I might have called my parents and asked them if they could bring it, but at this point in time it was like 12 to 1 o'clock. So they wasn't even up. So I was like, fuck it. Alright. So basically what happened was I went about my ways, and I guess me and Josiah had met up or whatever, and we was getting some food, and they had like Chick-fil-A sandwiches for like $5. They had like pizza slices for like $2. They had all that shit. So I was trying to get me a Chick-fil-A sandwich because I had a little bit more money. It was really a Chick-fil-A meal. You get like chips and it was like $6. You get like chips and a drink and the sandwich. So I was finna get that hoe, and I don't know how the fuck, but for some reason the nigga that was selling the rides, let me just get this nigga a name, bro. Fucking I don't even know, Brandon. Let's get that nigga name. So Brandon walks up to us, and he's like, well, he didn't walk up to us, but he was just like walking around the people and was like, hey, you see anybody go over here, and you see anybody take some money from over here or go over there and type shit. And then he walks up to us and he's like, hey, you see anybody go over there? And I'm like, over where? He was like, over by my duffel bag and shit. I know you seen that shit. You seen where I was? And I was like, nah, bro, I ain't seen nobody go over there. Why? He's like, nigga, cause my money missing. And at this time, I'm up there paying for my food, and I don't know, this nigga, I don't know, but this nigga, I paid for my food, and he's like, okay. So then he goes into the cafeteria. It was this back door. He goes into the cafeteria. So I go and pay for my food. I go back into the cafeteria as well, where my shit was. I start eating my food, eating my chicken sandwich and shit, drinking my Sprite, cause shit, favorite drink is Sprite. You know what it is. Nice cold beer. But I was drinking my Sprite and shit, And I guess my homeboy Josiah walks up and he was talking to me and shit. So as he was talking to me, Brandon walks up to us and he was like, "Hey, bro, I know you took my money and shit." And I'm like, "Huh?" And he's like, "A few people told me they seen you over there and shit. You and him right there." And I was like, "Nigga, bro, I really went and got me some food. I'm just trying to lie my way out of this shit." I'm like, "Bro, I wasn't even over there, basically." And he's like, "All right, man, how much money you got?" And I'm like, "Bro, I literally got $35 from my mom." And at this point in time, I spent like most of the money I got from him because it was really like $15-$20. So I spent like, I got a lot of fucking snacks and shit, and I got some food too. So it's by the end of the night where I got like $20 in my pocket, maybe. Right. So I'm like, "Bro, I got like $20 or some shit. I got like $35 from my mom," and he was like, "Nah, let me see that 20." So he looks at the 20, and apparently there was a little circle blue part or whatever that he just knew that was his money or whatever. And he like, nah, bro, all no other 20s got this circle and this and this and that. And he's like, "I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass." And like, I'm like, "Bro," and I pulled out a couple dollars. I was like, "Bro, I got this money from my mom." And he just snatched the money out my hand. And then he looks at the other nigga. He's like, "What you got, nigga? Show me your money." And he's like, "Bro, I'm not showing you my money, bro. I ain't got nothing." He was just sitting there acting like, he's like, "I ain't getting no money from my mom. I ain't got shit." He's like, "I saw you at the concession stand buying food, nigga. Don't act funny." He was like, "Man, Demetrio paid for that shit." And I'm like, "Nigga, I ain't paid for shit, nigga. I paid for my own food, nigga, with my own money." And I was like, "Nigga, I can call up my mom right now and she can tell you she gave me this motherfucking money, nigga." And he already had snatched the motherfucking money, so I'm like, ain't really shit I can do. I'm not finna fight this nigga. So we ended up in the gym somehow, and he was over there talking about, "Oh yeah, that's that nigga that snatched my money," and trying to cause I don't remember how we ended up in the gym, but I was basically following that nigga like, "Hey, bro, give me my motherfucking money back, nigga. Like, I got this shit like from my mom, nigga. I ain't steal shit from you. You just basically snatching somebody else's money that ain't steal from you. I don't make no motherfucking sense." And he was just like, "Nah, nigga, this my motherfucking 20, this my motherfucking 20, all types of shit." So Josiah pulled up and he's like, "This nigga still bothering you, bro?" He's like, "He ain't take no motherfucking money, bro." And Brandon just walks up to him. He's like, "Nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. I know y'all snatched my money, nigga. I heard somebody told me y'all snatched my motherfucking money, nigga. They saw y'all over there. That ain't stupid. Y'all the only people that people said that was over there, and I'm not stupid." So the nigga gets up in our face, and I back my homeboy up. I ain't no bitch. I back my homeboy up, and he was like, "What's up?" and squares up, and I'm like, "Bro, I'm not finna fight you over no motherfucking money, bro. Back the fuck up." Right? So basically, that happens. He basically just snatches the money, starts talking shit around. I'm just like, "All right, fuck it." I called my mom for like 10 to 20. So I asked one of my junior to senior homeboys to take me to my parents' house, or take me to my mom's house, and so I can ask her for some more money. So I walk up in the house, and she's like, "Boy, what you want? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought you was spending the night at the school." And I was like, "I was, but I went to go get some food because I didn't eat a lot." And I said, "Put my money in my bag," and I basically told her someone stole my money. I didn't tell her exactly what happened, but basically told her someone went in my shit and stole my money. And can I have like $10 for some food? So she ended up giving me a 20 or some shit like that. And we went back to the school, and shit, I got me some food or whatever, stayed up for a little bit more, and then I had passed out. It was like 3 o'clock by then. I had like passed out on my phone in my sleeping bag, and I had woke up to like everybody, like basically they woke up everybody, like literally they woke up everybody, because I was asleep. I didn't know what the fuck happened, but apparently they woke up everybody. They put everybody against the wall, like every single person, every boy there. They put everybody up against the wall and asked who went through the cafeteria. Now what happened was, there are these gates or like bars that when they close the cafeteria, they put these little, this gated door, and they pull it down and put this little like rope or something to keep it from coming up. and I guess somebody went and like put their arm through these gated things and broke it, and started going through the cafeteria and was like throwing bread and shit. It was just throwing all types of shit. So I didn't know about this because I was fucking asleep, and I just got woken up to getting it put against the wall and asking everybody who did it. So they got everybody. They asked everybody what they was doing. I told them I was asleep. They told me I can go. They kept asking everybody what they were doing, and they said, "All right, you can go." But the people that they knew, would like snitch or whatever, they got them and they asked them who did it, and apparently it was Brandon, the nigga who apparently took the bread was Brandon, and the nigga I stole money from that was selling all the rides. So he apparently went in there, broke the latch, and got a whole bunch of bread loaves and just started throwing that shit around. And there was a whole bunch of bread pieces around, and every boy had to go pick up everything that was on the floor and shit. And everybody had to go to sleep. They turned off all the games, turned off all the movies, everything. Everybody had to go to sleep. So basically, by the end of the night, the next day, I didn't know Brandon did it until the next day at school. So basically, we all went to school and shit, and we were all talking about it. We were just like, hey, so like, who was the one who went into the school shit? Like, who did that shit? And they told me it was Brandon. I was like, what the fuck? Like, for real? And they were like, yeah, he broke into the latch and was just like throwing bread and everything. And I guess someone snitched on him, and teachers were called, and they went in and seen that the latch was broken, and they started asking around, and they looked at the cameras and they saw apparently him going in that bitch. And I was like, damn, they have the cameras on? I didn't even think they would have the cameras on, but I guess because there's a whole bunch of kids in that shit, they thought, hey, it would be better for the cameras to be on. But yeah, there's not really a moral of the story for this story. It was really just a what happened. One of my homeboys asked me to do this story, and it was kind of funny. It was a weird but funny story because I almost got my ass beat kinda, because I was in middle school. I wasn't really a tough kid, so if he was really trying to fight, I would have got my ass beat, no cap. Sorry for the not even lack of uploads, because I've only uploaded one video, but that one video, I didn't have my headphones on, so I didn't really hear how loud I was and exactly what levels it was. So yeah, this shit is not as easy as people think. This motherfucker YouTube shit, editing all these videos and trying to find the right shit to say. I'm gonna get used to it though. But this is like my second video I've recorded, and I'm gonna just keep knocking out these videos. If you want any story times or have any story times in mind that you think I'm not gonna make this video or this channel only story times. I want to branch off into other things, and I'm gonna just keep knocking out these videos. If you want any story times or have any story times in mind that you think I would have, just comment down below.